Hey guys, what's going on today? So, as most of you know, I shoot a lot of Steel Challenge. You can watch the videos over on the other channel, Florida Shooters. But this is what I've been shooting for years. You've seen this before. It's a Ruger 1022. Has the Magnum Research graphite barrel, info quartz and trigger pack. I've recently put this Knox Axiom stock on it, just so I could have some adjustability in the length of pull. Vector Optics red dot. I don't know if I can get you a shot of that or not, but I don't know how clear it is, or anyway. And I rigged up a Mobius camera mount so I can have my camera clipped onto the gun, which the Mobius, by the way, is what I'm making this video on today. I've set up a little makeshift overhead attachment here, but I've been shooting this and it's a great gun. I love it. This gun weighs in at about 3 pounds 8 ounces. I use the Ruger BX25 magazines. I have some 10 rounders too that I do use on occasion, but I've wanted another one for a couple of years now, 3 years. And again, if you've watched that channel for any length of time, you know that I am an M&P fanatic. I love the entire Smith M&P line. And the latest addition to the arsenal is the M&P 1522. Love this gun. Love shooting it. Love shooting my Ruger too, though. Made a few changes on it. I changed it over to a BattleLink minimalist stock, and this is the mil-spec size. This is a commercial tube, but this is a mil-spec size, and the reason I did that was so it fits a lot tighter. Sight mark red dot. It's the Ultra Shot Plus. It's a pretty decent red dot. Picked these up at Academy for 69 bucks. Mobius action cam mount on this one. I actually bought a real mount. It's a pick rail mount. Just loosen the thumb screw up and it slides off. It's the standard piece of pick rail. This comes with the gun, and this is what the mount looks like. Just slide it onto any pick rail and tighten up the thumb screw and slip the camera in. Tandem cross compensator, of course. That's all I've ever used on these 22s. And I put in if you notice that odd looking trigger, don't notice the old trigger anymore, I put a jarred trigger in this. It's a very nice trigger. I had the original Smith trigger. I was going to try and make it work. So if you can see here, I did I don't know how well that's going to show up. I did a polish job on it, and then I was going to put a set of JP yellow springs in it, and I got a pack of them out, and the trigger spring was the exact same thickness, same bends, same winds as the JP. I'm pretty sure this is a JP trigger spring. And then the hammer spring I changed, because if you have one of these, you know the triggers in these things are horrendous. So I just put the JP yellow, the 3.5 hammer spring in, and the gun would not function reliably without it. A lot of failure to fires. Is at the range, pulled the hammer out, put the original spring back in, problem went away. So the JPs, I know some people say they work fine, and that may very well be, but in my case, it did not work. So I pulled the trigger out and I ordered the jarred, set this off to the side for right now, the jarred, the 3636. It was the ARJ model. It's not an expensive trigger. It was $72.50 shipped. 3 pound. A little diagram here because these are not your father's AR triggers. These are a little bit different. This is the parts breakdown of it. If you notice, it has no trigger spring. The trigger spring goes under the front horn. It's just captured between the trigger and the bottom of the lower. And you'll notice too that the disconnector has its own pin. It is not retained with the trigger pin. So this all comes assembled here. The disconnector and spring was in it, the pin was in it. You don't have to mess with that. And this plate here, this is a pin retainer, and you put it down into the side right there, and you have to get the pins in the right position, because you know how they have the slots cut in them. You have to get the pins exactly right, and then this plate snaps down into those grooves in the hammer and trigger pins. Keeps your pins from moving back and forth. That's the trigger. Thing has an exceptionally clean brake. See if you can see down in there and see how the disconnector works, and that there's no trigger spring in it. Break this off and get it a little bit lower. Maybe it'd be easier for you to see. There's that. Now this thing has no take up, no creep, and it brakes. No take up, brakes almost instantly. For the money, this is an incredible trigger. So, the only thing I got left that I want to do is I want to change this charging handle out to an ambidextrous. There's a company, Next Level Armament, Next Level Armory, something like that, Next Level Arms. They make a Raptor handle, but short, for the 1522. And when it's in the gun, you close it up, it's ambidextrous, looks just like the Raptor. They're out of stock, I'm waiting. So I'm going to cut in some footage now at the steel match last week and let you see that, and then when we come back I want to show you a problem I had with this gun right out of the box.
There you go.
So, alright, as you can see, the gun runs very well. In fact, it ran flawless. It was a 100-round match. I had, I don't know, 8 or 10 misses. So I shot 100, 110 rounds. Not one issue. Ran perfect. That was last Sunday. I took it to the range for the first time last Saturday. Took it out and had just a miserable time with this gun. Constantly stovepipe, failure to eject. Couldn't make it through a magazine. 2 or 3 rounds and it would jam. Using stock Smith magazines, and I did buy a couple extras. I got 4 of these now. It just would not run. So I brought it home Saturday, and I got Ruger Reliable back out. Was going to shoot the match Sunday with the Ruger. Was boxing this back up. I purchased this new, by the way, from Sportsman's Outdoor Superstore. Before I do some Googling and see what I could find on this gun having this problem, and lo and behold, I ran across a guy that had several issues, or had that issue with several of the 1522s, dating all the way back to the first gen quad rails. I guess it's been a problem all along. And I tried his fix and cleaned the gun. I tried his fix, cleaned the gun up, figured I'm going to try and run it at the steel match tomorrow, see what happens, and as I said, it ran perfect. The problem is with the ejector. The ejector, mine, if you can see, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, so I'll try and describe it. If you slide that bolt in and out, if you can see the distance between the top of the ejector and the bottom of the bolt, that gap there, and let me grab a flashlight, maybe that'll help. Yeah. That clearance right there was about 3/16 of an inch. So what was happening was when the bolt would come back, the ejector was catching on the bottom of the round, and instead of flipping it outwards, it was just kicking it up, and this thing would spin around in there like a slot machine. Sometimes it would smash here, sometimes it would wedge in between the bolt and the breech face. So what his suggestion was, or what his idea was, is just take your finger or your thumb and just start gently pushing up on this ejector, and you know it's kind of springy, so when you push up on it, it tends to just come right back to shape. So you have to do it several times, and you keep doing it until that bolt just barely clears the ejector. And as you can see now, and there's no gap there. It's perfect. If there's a gap there and you're having problems, check that out. And I apologize to the guy, I can't remember who I saw it, so you can watch his original video and get some more details. So, but that's about it. That's all that's going on for now. Yeah, ammo scores. I've scored some mini mags. I hit a jackpot a couple weeks ago. I loaded up on 9mm Perfecta. Let's see what else. I did run across the other day some 223 Perfecta. They had 5 boxes. I bought all of it. And I have been stocking like crazy this $9.94 a box Tula 7.62 by 39 40 round boxes. I've been buying that all I can find because that new Russian AR that I got in 7.62, I absolutely love shooting that. Guys, if you're thinking about building another AR and you don't have a 7.62 by 39, trust me, build one. You're gonna love it. So that's about all I got for right now, guys. Jarred trigger, that's the model 3636. Straight, they also have it in curved, but I really like the straight. I've been kicking around the idea of maybe putting an ambi safety in it, but I don't know yet. But anyway, take care, guys. We will catch you next time.